Welcome to the Zone Battle tutorial for Wipeout HD Fury. Zone Battle is a brand new mode introduced in the Fury expansion pack. It's essentially a multiplayer zone mode. Your aim is to be the first to reach a zone target set at the start of the race. And to make it more competitive, there's been plenty of features added to help you boost your own zone while hindering others. We'll look at some of these features in a little while, but let's start off by looking at the new HUD for Zone Battle. The zone target for your race will be displayed here in the upper right of your HUD. The target displayed here is 55, meaning that in this particular race you would need to reach zone 55 in order to win. When you set up a race box or online zone battle, you can choose your zone target at the start. The target can be anything from 20 up to 55, changing in intervals of 5. The position indicator differs from a normal race in that it displays zone rather than position on the track. And that's the key thing in Zone Battle. Where you are on the track is completely irrelevant. All that matters is how fast you're going. Over the course of the race, the zone indicator will also begin to fill up red to indicate how close to the target each of your opponents is. This part of the HUD is very similar to what you'd see in Zone mode. It displays your shield energy, your current zone, and your current zone class. On the right hand side you will also see the target again. Just like in Zone mode, your zone will increase by itself. However, in normal Zone mode, where you gain one zone every 10 seconds, in Zone Battle it's one zone every 20. So as you can imagine, if you're aiming for zone 55, it's going to take a very long time. Which is where this part of the HUD comes in, and it's probably the most important part of the lot. This is your boost gauge, and it serves two functions during a zone battle. It serves as a means of manually increasing your zone, and it's also the only way you can recover shield energy. So now let's have a look at exactly how this boost gauge works. In a zone battle, the speed pads on the track have been replaced with zone pads. They will still have the same effect on your craft as a speed pad, however they will also begin to charge your boost gauge. This section to the left will tell you the effect that your boost gauge will have on your zone. At any time you can press the fire button to add the boost gauge to your zone. So for example, if I press the fire button now, my zone would increase by 2.5. This would empty the boost gauge and then I would need to start charging it all over again. The maximum number of zones you can gain from your boost gauge is 8. If you hit any more zone pads after this, the gauge will not fill any further. So as mentioned before, hit the fire button to perform a zone boost and add the boost gauge to your zone. So what's actually stopping you from filling up the boost gauge every time and zone boosting when it's full? The answer is this thing right here. This is a zone barrier, and they are left behind every time a craft performs a zone boost, and hitting one can have a very nasty effect on your craft. As you can see here, hitting a zone barrier will deplete a section of your boost gauge, and it will also deal 40 damage to your craft. And unlike mines and bombs in normal races, zone barriers remain on the track until they are hit. So when you get a fair way into a zone battle, the track will be littered with zone barriers. In this environment, waiting for your boost gauge to fill all the way up is a risky business. Now even over the course of a race, if you hit just 2 zone barriers, your shield energy is going to be severely depleted. And this is where the second function of the boost gauge comes in. Instead of zone boosting, you can absorb your boost gauge and use it to recharge your shield energy. As with the boost indicator on the opposite side, the number indicated here is how much shield energy will be restored. At the same time, a shield will be activated around your craft, rendering you invulnerable to any further damage. And it'll also allow you to pass through zone barriers unhindered. It's a good method to clear out sections of track that have become cluttered with zone barriers. If your craft is destroyed in Zone Battle, it will be respawned straight away. However, as your time or your position on the track doesn't matter, there needs to be another penalty for destroying your craft. If you destroy your craft, your boost gauge will be completely depleted and you'll also lose 5 zones. So simply trying to boost your zone as much as possible during a zone battle isn't going to be enough. You do need to pay close attention to your shield energy, and there will be occasions where you will need to use the boost gauge to recharge it. There are two other ways to increase your boost gauge rather than just hitting zone pads. The first is to perform a barrel roll. And you'll also get a small boost if you run a perfect lap. There's also one last thing you need to take into consideration with Zone Battle. Even though on the team select screen all of the teams have 100 stats in all areas, they do still have their own feel to them. Again, it's a matter of trying them out and seeing which one works for you. So to sum up Zone Battle, here are the general mechanics you're going to want to keep in mind. If you choose to completely fill up the boost gauge, you will hit the zone target faster, but you run a greater risk of running into a zone barrier and losing some of it. However, if you choose to boost before it's full, you'll be able to boost more often and therefore drop more zone barriers. However, you won't reach the zone target as quickly. And also remember that for each subsequent zone pad you hit, the boost you gain will be greater than the last. And then you also need to think about at what point do you want to forego zone boosting to refill your energy gauge. So I'll leave you now with an example zone battle on an alpha pass with a zone target of 55. This is against the Elite AI. I prefer to completely fill the boost gauge at low zones, and I'll normally try and recharge my shield energy whenever it falls below 50. Normally on the more technical circuits where avoiding zone barriers is more difficult, I would choose to boost more often. That way I'm still increasing my zone, but I'm not running such a great risk of hitting a zone barrier and losing some of my boost gauge. However, as an alpha pass is a very open track with a lot of zone pads, I've chosen to fill up my boost gauge as many times as possible. Thank you for watching, good luck with the game.